see. We'll see. So let's jump down to a team down south, the Houston Roughnecks, which is really the Houston Gamblers, renamed or rebranded as the XFL brand, the Houston Roughnecks. The head coach here is going to be Curtis Johnson. He's a former head coach of the Houston Gamblers, which makes sense why he's with the Roughnecks now. His most recent NFL job was with the New Orleans Saints, but as the senior offensive line assistant / wide receivers coach. So kind of an interesting path, but getting a cool opportunity here in the XFL to be a head coach, maybe show some skills and see if he can get a different job. So the Gamblers rebranded, as we know, through the dispersal draft. They got a decent pool of players. They have the offensive player of the year in the USFL, Mark Thompson, two-time offensive line or defensive line D tackle, Toby Johnson, and the 2022 USFL defensive player of the year in Chris Odom. So they've got some names on this team. I'm not sure how far they will go, but they've got some guys that can play ball. So we're going to go through pros and cons, and Reese, I'll let you take personnel over on this one.
Yeah.
So some pros here again. Texas loves football. I think that's going to be pretty much the whole market here in the UFL. Texas loves football. They're all about it. They have the offensive player of the year from 2023. They have the defensive player of the year from 2022. And the oil industry in Texas, the Texas flag, this is all included in their branding. So I think people in Texas that are really passionate about being in Texas are going to flock to this team just because this reflects so much of the true history of Texas. But some of the cons of being a fan of the Roughnecks, they finished 5-5 last season. That's the Roughnecks, not the Gamblers. Their stadium changes. They were playing at one college, then they go to another college. So it's just back and forth here. They're playing on college campuses, which could be good. You get some college kids out there. It makes the time a little bit more fun. But you also have the Houston Texans. Are they footballed out? Or they got some extra games? They were in the divisional round of the playoffs this year. So is Houston footballed out? Are they going to look forward to watching their Astros here in the spring? I don't know. So that's just a lot of question marks of where the viewership is going to come from. But let's hear it, Reese.
Yeah. So first and foremost, this is a team that's certainly got a lot of talent returning because this is the Gamblers, remember, rebranding to the XFL's Roughnecks name. So they're going to bring in some good players. So a lot of players returning from that Gamblers roster, including all at USFL running back Mark Thompson, who was the player of the year for them last year. Adam Rodriguez, defensive end from Weber State, he'll be returning. Toby Johnson, Justin Hall, Paul Adams, Manny Bunch are the all USFL players returning to this team. So they're going to have some talent. Their biggest question by far is going to be their quarterback. They just recently re-signed Reed Sinnott, who played fairly well for one game. He's got a pretty lucrative, or not lucrative NFL career, but lengthy, bouncing around since he entered the league as an undrafted quarterback out of San Diego. He joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He kind of bounced around. He's played for the Bucs, the Dolphins, the Eagles, another stint with the Dolphins, played one game for the Brahmas last year. And then he has since he played a little bit with the Bengals this season, spent some time on their roster, went back to the Brahmas, was released, and now is sitting on the Roughnecks roster. So he's bounced around, but he hasn't gotten a chance to really play football. So he's expected to be the starter. Jared, I don't even know how to say his last name, but Jarrett Garantano from Washington State is looking to be their backup quarterback this year. So the quarterback, the play at the quarterback position is going to be pivotal for everybody in this league. But they do not have a proven spring league quarterback, but they certainly have a quarterback who's been privy to spending some time with some good quarterbacks, most recently Joe Burrow and the Battlehawks, A.J. McCarron. So, yeah, he's going to almost make or break their season. You hate to say it that way, but they've got decent players around him, especially an all USFL receiver to throw the ball to, Justin Hall. So, yeah, that's going to make or break their year.